We are grading your Dynasty football trades on today's video.
Come on,
Now,
baby.
if you want your trade to be considered, real simple, join our Discord with the link in the description. And
That's
then
right.
anytime you post a trade into the Dynasty Trades text channel, we look through it every week and we find interesting ones to cover on the channel. So, players we're looking at today: CMC, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin,
Talk it up.
Juju, Stephon Diggs, Treylon Burks, AJ Dillon, DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Breece Hall, Jalen Waddle, Mike Williams, Hollywood Brown, Chris Godwin, Najee Harris.
Ooh.
Lots of good names for you today.
Come on,
Let's
baby.
look at the first trade. Shout out to Miles44. A little context, he says, trade I pulled off in a 12-team Superflex league, rebuilding. So, team one gets CMC, Juju, Terry McLaurin, Khalil Herbert, and a 2023 third-round pick. Team two gets AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, a 23 second, and a 23 first.
Right.
So, where do you kind of lean here? And we've actually made a small little change. Someone commented a very good idea. Instead of team A, team B, we're now doing team one, team two. So if you're going to comment where you sit on these trades, team one, team two, and that's going to make it a little bit easier when we go to grade each trade with the
as well.
A to D, A to F format. So where do you lean here? You team one or team two?
I'm definitely team two for me. Obviously, I really like what he said. He said he's trying to rebuild, so he pulled off the trade. I'm assuming he is team two. AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, and a 23 first and a 23 second. My immediate thought process is on the side of team one, right? The two people I'm not necessarily in love with is Juju and Terry McLaurin. I know CMC has had injury history, and I know they're probably saying, well, that's probably the biggest worry out of everything. But for me, is Juju going to get re-signed? If he does get re-signed, what does that look like? And number two, I know Terry has been struggling with the quarterback play, but he's 26 years old, going to be 27. We flip to two young wide receivers in AJ Brown and Garrett Wilson. I would rather go with those two guys than Juju and Terry and take the first for CMC. And I think Khalil Herbert, and the 23 mid-third. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but
right.
I think the 23 second is so much more valuable than those two, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
So I feel really confident in saying that I am team two.
Yeah. I think when I was looking at this one, it felt really close. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that both of these teams probably came out feeling really good because it seems like they're both trying to accomplish a very specific strategy. For team one, they're trying to go all in and win right now. So I can understand how you would lose AJ Brown, but you would gain Christian McCaffrey and Terry McLaurin and Juju to go help you win right now.
Exactly.
Whereas I look at Garrett Wilson, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to help win now teams right now this year. So I can understand where team one's coming from. But if I do have to pick a side, and we always try and force ourselves to pick a side, yes, I am also team two as well.
Okay.
You're right. CMC, to me, I keep saying he's not someone I want to invest in Dynasty. Mm-hmm. And he kind of nailed it because right now he's 26 years old. When he's 27, it's for whatever reason,
it's going to be tough.
The Dynasty community, the value changes instantly. As soon as someone hits 27 as a running back or 29 as a wide receiver, it's like, this player's old. I don't want him anymore. Does anyone want this player? So realistically, I don't actually see a scenario in which CMC's value rises. Like genuinely, I don't think that it can rise from this point onward.
If CMC finishes top 5 RB and he's saying, all right, CMC's back, do you think he'll still be a first? I think he'll still be a first next year.
As in redraft or Dynasty?
More in Dynasty.
So what's he worth? Are you saying is he worth a first round pick?
Yeah, don't you think
he would definitely.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that.
I agree, but what I'm saying is it's not going to get better. What is he right now in the Dynasty's eyes?
It's not going to be
double
more.
Check. Is he RB? What RB is he?
He's RB5 right now currently.
Okay, so he's RB5 right now. Next year he's 27 years old at this time. He could finish RB1, and he's not going to be valued different. He's not going to be higher than RB5 in Dynasty rankings next year.
I hear you on that.
So yeah, I think both teams make sense with what they're accomplishing, but give me the two young wide receivers that I feel like I can build around and the draft capital where I feel like I can get a running back that I love.
Agreed.
So team 1 I gave a B, and team 2 I gave a B plus. Really close though.
Yeah, team 1 I gave a B plus actually, and I gave team 2 an A. So I think it's still a good trade for a team 1.
Yeah.
But team B clearly kicks it out the park, knocks it out the park.
Yeah. All right, trade number 2 we got from Siggy Wiggy. Shout out to Siggy Wiggy. A little context: it's a 12-team Superflex half PPR league, and I found this interesting because again, most of the community did not agree with where I stand on this trade.
Mm-hmm.
So George Pickens in a 23 first is team 1. Team 2 is Stephon Diggs in a 2023 third. So for me, I'll just go ahead and say I am on the team 1 side, the George Pickens and the 2023 first here. You might not know this, but if you've been subscribing for more than a week, you probably will. I am all in on George Pickens. In fact, we recorded a video about a week or so ago. I'll try and link it if I can. I don't want to not waste, because I think it's great content, but I don't want to go on a rant right now for 10 minutes as to why I'm obsessed with George Pickens and why I believe he's truly going to be an alpha receiver in the NFL. However, I do think that you should watch that video. I'll take Pickens, the trajectory. I'll take the 2023 first round pick. I know a lot of people are on the Diggs side because it makes sense. He's 100% the safer option. But for me, I'm going to go to the Pickens side. And again, I want to explain why, but I'm going to waste time. In the video that we recorded has a bunch of information as to why. But give me the Pickens side, and I get the 23 first. I get George Pickens, and then I probably get another wide receiver. I'm already building a wide receiver room for the future that I can build around. Exactly.
I really like this trade, and the thought process I had was like, damn, that 23 first. And if you know me, I've been saying this 23 class, we've all been saying it. This 23 class is about to be stacked. But at the same time, Stephon Diggs feels really comfortable as well right now for the next at least 4 years. He got a 3-year contract extension. I think his contract is not up until about 2025, something like that. I don't have it in front of me, but I think the longevity and the security, especially with Josh Allen, feels really comfortable saying, you know what, I'm happy to pass on Stephon Diggs right now, because once again, the security, is George Pickens really going to hit? Is Kenny Pickett really going to hit? Is this offense, do they keep this offense, or are they going to change it? What happens over there in George Pickens in that 23 first? Is that also going to hit? So I can see both sides, and this is why for me, it's a straight toss-up. I think it's a fairly even trade. Stephon Diggs, a 23 third, I don't really care about, but Stephon Diggs and getting that security, I think is massive, whether that's win now or a futuristic team. In my futuristic team, I mean in the window of 4 years, nothing past 4 years. So I feel really confident in saying that this is a
team 2. Then
I would lean team A, but I do believe it's easy. Yeah, team 1, excuse me. But I do believe
it's going to be hard for us to get there. But yeah, okay. So you do lean George Pickens. I was looking at this trade, and I just thought to myself, the Pickens hype is pretty high right now, and I think it should be. I think in talent evaluation, he's my wide receiver 2 this year, pre-draft. But I don't think that the person receiving Diggs should have had to have given a 23 first. Take out the 23 third, and if that's a 23 second on team 1 side, that feels like a much more even trade to me. I don't think they should have had to given up a first round pick in this deal. But again, maybe
I think that's maybe that person selling George Pickens or trying to get Stephon Diggs is probably still questioning, the hype's up right now. Let me get as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, which almost tells me I thought it would be impossible to get Pickens, but maybe it is possible, and you don't have to overpay, because it doesn't feel like an overpay to me. But again, we had 10 people go with the Diggs side, and 4 people on our Discord go with Pickens. So I was surprised by that. I gave team 1 an A- and team B a B-. Yeah, team 2 a B-. Jeez,
I gave both teams. Yeah, it's going to be a tough transition, but I gave both teams a B+. Once again, a toss-up. Okay. But if I had to pick one, give me team 1, George Pickens.
All right, trade number 3 from Runner Meep, and this is an interesting as well, because I also disagree with the community's overall thoughts here. Team 1, AJ Dillon, DJ Moore. Always a trigger word on this channel. Team 2 is a 23 mid-first, Treylon Burks, and Christian Watson. Little context, it's a 12-team Superflex league. We released a video a couple days ago where I spent 15 minutes and really highlighted why I believe Treylon Burks is an incredible buy low right now. A buy low that we see very rarely in an offseason. And I would highly encourage you guys to go watch that video. But by the way, I don't know if like it's probably really dumb for me to think I even had a slight impact on this. But Treylon Burks' value in Dynasty, it already rose 3 spots since I released that video. I'm not saying I to be honest, I probably had 0 impact on that. But anyway, I found that interesting because I looked at that today. But I'm pretty easily team 2 here. Treylon Burks, let's be honest, 90% of the community had him as the 101 or the 102 in the pre-draft process. Now he's fallen 17 spots before he's taken a single NFL snap. I talk about DJ Moore. I've been a huge advocate to sell him. He's been ranked as a top 12 Dynasty wide receiver all offseason, and I don't think that's proper value. I know people want me to shut up about it, but DJ, top 6 in targets last year. I know it wasn't the best quarterback play, but top 6 in targets.
Right.
Finishes as a wide receiver 30 in points per game. 3rd in drops. He is my wide receiver 23 in Dynasty, which is where I feel like he should be. So again, I feel like he's overvalued. And to me, this is an incredible example of someone buying the dip of Burks and selling the high of a DJ Moore. And by the way, DJ Moore, like we keep talking about, age is such a trigger for the Dynasty community.
100%.
And I'm not telling you that it should be. I'm just telling you how it is. Age is a trigger for the Dynasty community.
Exactly.
When DJ Moore, when he turns 26 next year, what are everyone going to say? Right? if he finishes as a wide receiver 2 again this year, and he's 26 years old, will the Dynasty community turn on him? I don't know. You let me know. You have to tell me that. But anyway, I'm pretty easily on the team 2 side here.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm 100% there with you, and let me tell you my reasons, because I agree. Same thing with DJ Moore. We're not a huge advocate here on this channel for DJ Moore, but my biggest, I guess, turn away as well is also AJ Dillon. I think the community is too high on him in my eyes. He's an RB14 in the community. Not saying I don't like him. Not saying I don't believe.
Is he the RB14?
RB14 currently right now in the community. And
holy moly.
It is just too high for me currently. Let me just pull up my rankings here. AJ Dillon for me is my RB21. So if I can get a 23 first right now, and Christian Watson, who I actually liked coming out of college, and he does land with Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be the quarterback in the long term. Treylon Burks wasn't necessarily, not that I didn't like him, I just really don't like the landing spot. So if I can take the dip now with Treylon, like Zach's been saying, get Christian Watson, who is also currently on a dip, in my opinion, because he hasn't been in preseason. He hasn't been seeing any balls in practice because he's been injured, and a 23 first, and then sell him high if that is the case in the middle of the season or at the end of year 1. I'm happy to take this side, to take what is it?
So,
team 2 side.
Team 2, yeah. I might have overreacted a little bit. He's my running back 16. So I'm surprised. I'm actually
right.
AJ Dillon's my running back 16 in Dynasty.
Yeah.
So I'm actually I really like Dillon this year. I think he's gonna be different. But when I saw when you said RB14, I was like, oh my god! Like,
yeah, it doesn't sound right. But at the same time, it's like,
I mean, wow! I got here. Like, anyway, so let's give team grades. I gave team 1 a B minus, team 2 an A. This is a big difference in grades, but I really think team 2 smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, for me, team 1 C plus, and I gave team B a B plus. Value is still there in DJ Moore and AJ Dillon. You can definitely flip him, but I would rather take the 23 first and Christian Watson and Burks every day.
All right, the last trade we have is from Kevin H315. A little context. He's asking, who wins this trade, Breece or the AJ Dillon side? You can see team 1 has Breece Hall and Jalen Waddle. Team 2 has AJ Dillon, Mike Williams, Hollywood Brown. I'll start first, if that's okay, because
sure.
I have a huge difference in my grades of this trade. Like an A plus and a C minus is what I graded it. So I think it's huge.
I'm listening.
This is easily team 1 for me. I do love AJ Dillon. I do love Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown was a my guy this year. And A.J. Dillon was so close to that list. But Breece Hall is getting so disrespected in trades lately. I just feel like he's getting tossed around, I don't want to say like what, but I feel like he's getting tossed around 70 to 80% of the community, including me. When it was the combine, we all said, oh my God, the production was there, the athletic profile is there, and the testing is there. This is an elite running back prospect. And somehow along the way, we all got worried about Michael Carter, okay? And I just want to go on a little rant here. Let me step on my box for 1 second. I'll step down.
Step on my box.
You were told, listen to me, you were told not to trust Jonathan Taylor as a rookie because of who? Who was it? Nyheim Hines.
Talk it up.
Jonathan Taylor was a league winner, okay? Last year, you were told by some, okay, to be worried about Javonte Williams in Dynasty and to quote-unquote buy him later because of Melvin Gordon. I'm not saying you said that, Badaki. I'm just saying some people out there, we saw it happen. Sure. Did we see a split backfield last year in Denver? Yes.
Right.
Did we ever see any buy low opportunity for Javonte Williams? No, it never happened. Javonte Williams split the backfield the entire year last year, completely split it, and his value did not drop a single time. Stop selling Breece Hall because you're worried about Michael Carter, a 4th-round running back who clearly cannot take a full workload, okay? The last thing I'll say about this trade is Jalen Waddle. This was icing on the cake for me. My wide receiver 5 in Dynasty formats literally just broke a rookie record with Tua, the same quarterback he now returns with. I understand Tyreek is there, but that doesn't hurt Jalen Waddle. How many other weapons on this field are you giving the ball to? It's Tua, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. That is who is going to be the centerpieces of this offense. Again, I'm not disrespecting A.J. Dillon, Mike Williams, or Hollywood Brown, but we are talking about 2 truly elite Dynasty assets. Guys who are going in, like, if you're doing a Dynasty startup, by the second pick of the 3rd round, both of these guys are probably gone. At worst, middle of the 3rd round. So
yeah,
for me, I gave Team 1 an A+, Team 2 a C-. I thought this was an incredible trade for the Breece Hall side. I still believe in Breece Hall. I'm not ready to give up on him. I'm going to step off my box, but I was passionate about this one, so I figured I would take it away to start.
No, absolutely. And let me tell you my worries. It's not that, and I've said this from the jump. When Breece Hall did come in, when he got drafted to the Jets, I was like, I'm okay with Michael Carter because I believe his floor is still going to be there. I think the ceiling has been capped. And now with recent reports has been coming out, and maybe it's been the community, maybe it's been the reports, I'm more hesitant on Breece. I still like him in Dynasty. I have him as my RB5 currently as well. I'm more like, okay, I'm really thinking the thought process here. How is year 2 going to look for Breece? I'm really trying to envision that. And the way I see that panning out still at this very moment is that it's going to be a 60-40, 70-30. Once again, is that, and I'm not saying that's not enough for Breece. I'm not saying that he won't be a massive fantasy relevant running back. Yeah, massive fantasy relevant running back. I just think that maybe his ceiling, the expectation that we all thought could be capped just a little bit. I'm not saying I don't like him, just thinking of that thought process.
And can I just say something really quickly? Mm-hmm. And I know this is a random stat and I shouldn't know it, but I was preparing for a take on Dalvin Cook not too long ago. You mentioned 70-30. Dalvin Cook for the last 3 years has averaged 70% snap share. Mm-hmm. I just want to throw that out there. And Alexander Mattison has not hurt his fantasy output. I know it's a different running back. Yeah. It's a different offense, but I just want to put that out there. I don't know if that means anything to you, if that, feels any sort of way. Maybe it doesn't, but it was just this stat that, as you were saying that, I was like, I literally just prepared for this Dalvin Cook take, and that came to mind. So if he gets 70-30, does that worry you?
If he gets 70-30, no, it doesn't necessarily worry me. I think the biggest thing here with Breece Hall specifically is that I need to see it.
Okay,
And
sure.
I know with Michael Carter, I was massive, but we're both massive believers of Michael Carter. We
I
really
liked
like
Michael.
Michael Carter coming in. I think he's a great pass catching back. I think I would say super more talented than Alexander Madison and what he can bring to an offense. So once again, not saying I knocking Brees or not saying I'm off Brees at this moment. I'm saying I am questioning if I am going to even, because early in the season, Brees right now, my RB5 going into next year, probably still going to be my RB5. Now it's like, shit, is he going to be like my RB10 now? Is he going to be my RB something now? Like, that's where I'm at. But with this trade, for the people that are part of this team 1 and team 2, I really like the Brees Hall side purely because of Jalen Waddle. I still believe in Brees. And for team 2, I'm more questioning Mike Williams because we only saw the breakout this past year. Is that going to continue again? 26 years old, Hollywood Brown. And we just, if you heard our previous take with AJ Dillon, is I'm not a massive believer in AJ Dillon. I think it's too high, RB14. He's my RB21. I would rather have Brees every single day and then take Jalen Waddle, who 23 years old right now, over Mike and over Hollywood Brown. Excuse me, Mike Williams is 27. I think I said 26, so 27 years old. So.
Okay. So you're taking the team 1 side as well. I love it. And, I just want to ask you a question, and it's just for conversation's sake. Do you kind of agree with my thought process there, though, that this can truly be a 50% workload? Brees Hall's value is not dropping. Do you agree with that sentiment?
If you're saying if...
Because a friendly reminder, like the whole Javonte Williams parallel, I had Javonte Williams ranked as a top 5 running back last year around week 10 or so, okay? And that had nothing to do with Russell Wilson. So those thoughts for everyone and where he was ranked in the community, we didn't know anything about Russell Wilson yet. So that team last year was the 9th worst in points per game. They were not a good offense.
Yeah.
And still, we as a community had the confidence not to let his value dip because of the prospect. Do you kind of agree with that sentiment? Like, look, there's not going to be a buy low opportunity, or do you kind of disagree that there might be?
I think that the only way I can answer that question is the only way I feel like I can say with my thought process is that not that Michael Carter is a better running back than Melvin Gordon, but he's a younger running back that's going to be here for a long time with Brees. Yeah, okay. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I am just... Because, both of these guys, 50-50 workload, Brees Hall finishes top 25. Yeah. Hypothetically, I think that's a decent finish for him right now. But next year, if Michael Carter is still getting the same workload for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, because Michael Carter's there, he's still going to be here for another 4 years. It's just like, dang, like, okay, if he's going to be 50-50 for the next 3 years and so on, maybe is it too high then that he's RB5? Right. Like... That's my thought process.
Let me ask you this. Like, obviously, Jonathan Taylor's a different player, but Nyheim Hines is still there. I don't think Nyheim Hines and Michael Carter are all that different as far as, like, what they can bring to an offense. So that would just be my reply. But,
I just think that...
We always like to have open conversations, so I was just curious where we sat there.
No, for sure. For sure.
Okay. Anything else before we move on to this last one that we want to say? Did you give a grade?
Didn't give a grade. I just want to say, once again, I'm not off Brees Hall, just questioning it at the moment. My grade, B+ for team 1, and team 2 is a B flat. I don't dislike the players. I'm not like completely off it. I think they can bring value, but Brees Hall and Waddle in a dynasty standpoint is just going to be better in my opinion.
All right. We wanted to bring one last trade, and we're not going to analyze this trade, but we just wanted to, again, I mean, I feel like we've said this since January or February when this channel started. Sell Jonathan Taylor if you can for an absolute haul. And we have shown you trade after trade after trade of people getting incredible value for Jonathan Taylor. Despite in February, people saying, you should not, don't listen to these guys. They're idiots. You don't sell Jonathan Taylor. But we keep showing trade after trade of incredible value for Jonathan Taylor. And if you can, get a deal like this, okay? Team 1 got Chris Godwin, Najee Harris, a 23 first, a 23 second, and a 23 third. And they sent JT and Nyheim Hines. So we're not going to analyze this, but I just think, again, it's good awareness. If you have Jonathan Taylor out there, I'm shopping him all day. I don't have Jonathan Taylor in Dynasty Leagues, Badaki. I don't.
Same.
Because I have sold him in every Dynasty league.
I just never had the opportunity to get him, to be completely honest.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Jonathan Taylor, I don't have him in actually any league because I never get lucky. Number one, I have the 11th spot probably every single league. So JT, we love the sentiment there. Chris Godwin, Harris, a 23 first. Sheesh.
It's crazy that you can lateral that move and get all that capital and Godwin. Anyway, comment down below why you think that we are terrible at this.
Come on, baby.
Okay?
Tell me.
us that we're awful. No. Tell us what you think about these trades. Now I just realized this could be complicated because if we tell people, trade one, are you team 1 or team 2? Now that could get complicated. Maybe we need to stick with A and B.
Honestly, I honestly don't know.
Why don't you guys comment down below and let us know if we should do team A, team B, or team 1, team 2? I don't freaking know. Let us know in the comments below.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos,
watch it.
You can also subscribe
right now
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLand fam.